All right, if you have a 21 Harley or newer, this is a must-have on your bike. We all know that in 21 Harley, for whatever reason, decided to go back to the cable clutch system. I'm not going to rant about that right now. It's not what this is about. However, you guys know I've recently got a 2024 Street Glide. I'm excited, doing lots of mods to it. This is one of them. So if you have one of those bikes and you have a cable clutch, you'll know that on there, the stock one, the adjuster on the right runs down the right side of your bike, down the down tube. Well, it's all plastic. And it's not a fine tune adjuster. It is basically, I call it a manual auto adjuster.
You got to manually auto adjust it?
Yes.
Okay.
So you have to get in there, you pull the sleeve up, you got to hit the tabs, it releases it. And basically there's a engineered spring with a specific amount of tension on it. And so if your clutch is getting sloppy or whatever, you go down, you pop that spring automatically takes what it thinks is the right amount of tension on that cable, puts it on there, and then you push the button tab and it locks it in place. And there's no fine adjustment. And the way the cable clutch is, if you're going to keep that cable clutch system, you got to have this. And so if you guys notice on those, it's like very tight. Like when you have the clutch handle, there's no play at all. And I always like about an 1/8 inch to a 1/4 most. And that also, by adjusting it that way, it brings it so my gray area and my clutch engages a little bit quicker off the grip, which helps with hand fatigue, so it's not so far out. Anyways, you can't do that with the stock one. So we have a solution tried and tested right here by the law-abiding biker crew. And that is our beloved Fat Baggers Easy Clutch Adjuster. We have them in stock, ready to ship to you guys, and we appreciate you shopping in the Law-Abiding Biker store. It assures we can continue to make free podcasts like this after 11 years, all the free videos, of course, on the channel. Before this podcast come out, I will be dropping our install of that clutch adjuster mechanism, and it will take you just about a half hour. By the time you get set up, tools cleaned up, that's everything. It's a quick install, and what it allows you to do is you can do it with your fingers. It's really nice. You can adjust it and turn it and get that cable adjusted and your handle right where you want it. Super easy, super quick, and it's metal. So you get rid of the plastic cheap adjuster, auto manual adjuster thingy, Bob. Thingamajigger. And you'll thank me, trust me. And it's a very reasonable price, sub $50, guys, to get into one of these. And you'll never go back to that other. Again, it just doesn't give you any leeway on how you want to adjust your clutch handle. Now, with that said, again, I'm not going to rant, but I was a fan of the hydraulic system. In fact, our 23 police bikes that I got, we converted them to hydraulic, and we will be at some point. Just that's what we do in videos on this channel, and I do prefer the hydraulic. We will be doing a hydraulic conversion of my 24, so look forward to that video coming out on the YouTube channel. But in the meantime, and I know a lot of you, it's expensive. It's going to be well over, we don't know. We're not going to name the corporation because we're still doing some checking, but it was sub $1,000.
You're in the $1,000 range.
Whether you do OEM or whether you do what we're looking at an aftermarket kit. Anyways, it's in the works. And, but if you're going to keep that cable, or even just me for now till we can get all the parts and research that we need to do, I am running a Fat Baggers Easy Clutch Adjuster again in the Law Abiding Biker store. Just search for it, Fat Baggers and, or Easy or Clutch or whatever. And Lurch will link to it in the show notes, guys. And, we've got a bunch coming. We are going to be stocked up with them, but I will tell you, even at that, we bought our wholesaler out. So with that said, we know that these are going to move because, like I said, I wanted to find one that I trusted and that's good quality and that I actually would use on as a police motorcycle officer and instructor, something that I would recommend and that that we actually installed on a 24, to make sure that it still worked, and it does. And so, again, thanks for shopping in our store, guys. With that said, get them while you can. Because they will be just like our extended brake pedals and shift linkage. We're blowing through it and we're having troubles and we're buying our wholesalers out. And thank you We appreciate that. That's because of you guys and supporting this channel and what we're doing and our mission to help as many bikers as we can worldwide. Lurch, do we have something?
I got mail. Yay! I got mail.
I have no idea.
Well, you might want to look at you did the shows. You might want to look at your screen.
I was busy. Yeah. So here's an email from Bert Labonte. Bert says, I am looking to order a Kuryakin extended brake pedal for Harley Touring 2014 and up with lowers for my 2021 Road Glide Limited after watching your video. I have been reading the pedal is the same length as stock, but when installed, it sits lower. Others had reviewed and stated they wish they bought the longer version, as there's plenty of room between the pedal and the lowers. What is your expert advice or suggestions? I love your video and the work you guys are doing. Great job. Keep it up. So here's our response. Because there are two different versions. There's a extended brake pedal for bikes with OEM lowers like your Ultras and whatnot. And then there's one for bikes without OEM lowers like Street Glides and Road Glides. And the difference is about 1.5 inches. The one designed for bikes without lowers. That's
not what she said.
Across, 1.5 inches across. That's still not great. Anywho,
no.
So, so there, to get back on topic, there's two different lengths. If you have a bike with lowers and you order the extended brake pad or brake pedal for bikes with lowers, it is the same length, but it does get it down in a much better position. So, his question was basically, can I put the longer one on his bike? So here's what we said. We haven't tried to mount the longer one without lowers version on a bike with lowers, so we can't say for sure. I'd have to defer to the reviews that you've read. We are currently sold out of the longer version anyway, so it's going to take a little while to get
at the time of this podcast. Yeah. Keep checking back the store, guys.
Yeah, I'm constantly checking daily on those things, and when they come in, we grab them. So here's the deal. We currently don't know if the longer version will fit on there. According to what Bert has read on the interwebs, it will, and it seems like it will. Here in the near future, I've got some on order, and we'll do a follow-up to this and check, because we have a gentleman here in town that has a bike with lowers that would like to try to see if he can get the longer extended pedal on.
And by the way, guys, all you members, if you've bought one of our Kuryakin extended brake pedals and you used one of the longer one, even with lowers, please let us know and send us a picture with it installed on the bike with lowers, showing how much space is in between the pedal and the lowers and any complications you ran into. We could really use your feedback on that. We're going to try to test it ourselves, but hey, if you've already done it, then just let us know and we can start disseminating that information. It'd be good information for our store. I want to say also, Lurch, didn't we bring another model to it?
We do have
the one I put on my bike.
Currently, as of the time of this recording, again, you'll have to keep checking back on the website, but we found another one called the Girder. It's Girder.
It's still a Kuryakin extended brake pedal.
The only difference is this one has some cutouts on the side instead of just a solid piece, so it's a little more stylish. I actually like it.
I do. I like it.
We were going to put a solid one on yours. There's just the regular extended brake pedal. Then we found the girders and we put the girder on your bike, and I think it looks great.
Yeah, currently have chrome or black.
Yeah, currently have chrome in stock, blacks on back.
Same price, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah,
or within $1 or $2. It's not
much
difference.
So yeah, that's another option. And again, you might want to check back often, because when we get them and they go quick, and no other distributors, no other online stores are going to have them, guys. We bought our wholesalers out, and we'll find out how many we can get, and we'll get them as fast as we can. But there are, like we say, the girder and then the other, and they'll be coming and going. So Lurch will also link to that in the description below. And we want to thank Bert Labonte for leaving and dropping us that information. It's always good stuff. We like sharing it on the podcast here at lawabidingbiker.com/contact. You can leave a free email over there from your, or a voicemail from your computer microphone or phone or whatever. And you could also leave a contact form. Also, Lurch, what is our new, we have a new phone number, guys. We've been using our podcast hotline phone number for a long time. We're retiring that. If you've heard it on previous episodes, it's going to be retired fully. We won't even be checking it anymore. This is our new store phone number. And it's also the podcast hotline phone number. And there'll be a welcome message on it I need to make. But we are using it. So what is that number, Lurch?
That number is 509-273-1234. 1290. Again, 509-273-1290.
Yep. 273-1290, folks. And here's what I'll tell you, though. With that said, if you have store questions, we're not going to answer it. It is a phone. It goes to voicemail. We're just too busy helping bikers in so many other ways that we're a bootstrap company. We don't have like people to wear headsets and just talk to people all day. We'll get back to you if we need to handle it with a voice conversation. Otherwise, guys, we are going to handle everything on the store contact form, lawabidingbiker.com/contact. You're going to get way quicker help there because we have multiple people checking there, and it's a lot easier than obviously talking on the phone all day. We got to ship stuff. We are busy. We're doing videos and films. So if you can handle over the contact form, just know if you leave a voice message and it's something you could already got an answer on the contact form, it's priority resolved if you do it over there. But if it's just something, one of those weird situations where you're like, I just need to talk to somebody, well, we will check voicemails. Just understand there's a turnaround on when we can get back to you. Again, we're not the huge conglomerates, guys, where we can pay employees to sit and man phones. It's just not the way we work. I know you guys know that, but I want to explain that up front with the release of that phone number. And there'll be a callback in a line of how we get to those. So, but definitely use it if you need to. And also, if you want to drop us just a quick voicemail, say hi or a funny joke or anything, we'd love to get your voice on the podcast platform here. Want to ride longer? Tired of a sore and achy ass?
Yeah.
Fix it with a high-quality butt buffer seat cushion. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store. Check out our full line of butt buffer seat cushions. Already got one on my seat on my new 2024 Street Glide.
Just got a new shipment of butt buffers
nice.
the other day, so we're keeping stocked up on them.
It was a difficult mod, the installation. I had to get it off my 14 Street Glide, and I had to set it on my 24. And then after that, it was such a stressful project. I just had to drink and stare at it for like 2 beers, bro, to just calm down, because that mod. That is a fucking
That's a tough
crazy mod. Hey, Bikeaholic, Zero 3D has a wide variety of innovative products for Harley-Davidson and a brand new line for the all-new Honda Goldwing named Gold Stripe.
I like gold.
Because I know Mark Arnold up in Canada, he's got him a Goldwinger.
Yeah.
He's a patron member. We got patron member Russell Roberts down in Tennessee with the Goldwinger. So we got more Goldwingers listening, and I love that. And they're also Hardy guys, of course. But yeah, very cool, very cool. Top quality, affordable chrome lighting and comfort products for those two bikes, Hardy and Goldwing. Zero Gold Strike are the motorcycle LED lighting innovators. No doubt they are for CAN bus plug-and-play system compatibility. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store. Check out our full line of Zero 3D products, and we'll be adding the 24 products as they develop those, and I am super stoked to see what Zero comes up with, because they are the leader. There's no doubt, dude. It's just clean quality, easy to install, all that kind of stuff. We'll be doing vids on that stuff too, guys. Have no doubt about it. Yeah.
Oh, really? Jeez, you're shot out of a cannon today.
Welcome back, you freaking bikeaholics. This is the podcast for the motorcycle majority, the big MM, also known as the
99%.
large in charge of the motorcycle scene more than any time in history. By being here, by listening, you're part of what we call the hashtag
Biker Revolution.
We have one freaking question for you, bikeaholics.
What are you waiting for? Mount up and let us take you on another wild-ass ride.
Ryan Urlacher here, your host of the Law Abiding Biker podcast and your
high-tech redneck.
Today's episode is all about the new, so it's about the new Infotainment Control Unit digital dash coming on, it came on the 23 CVOs. That's when we first saw it. Now it's on select 24 models, and I guarantee I can guarantee it, although I haven't been told that, it will be coming on 25. So it's going to be on these on 25 to all the 25 touring models in 25 and plus. Yeah. However I said that, it'll be
25 and up.
It's coming.
25 and newer.
25 and newer.
Next year. 24
select and 25 and newer. It's the whole digital dash system. So I know you may not be completely like, I'm not going to get one of those bikes for a long time. It's coming. You're not going to be able to get your old bikes, guys. This is the future. It's in cars. It is what it is. You don't have to like it. You don't ever have to like it. I don't like the cable clutch, but I'm dealing with it. And, so it is what it is. It's here.
All this new technology, and then we throw a cable clutch back on it.
It's just horrible. But you guys know what I'm talking about. Like, there's just some things you can not like it, and we don't like change, but there is change, and there's going to be change. And that is what this thing we call this life experience is all about. It's how you deal with change. I've learned, and I haven't always dealt with it well. It's how you deal with change that puts you out on top, guys. So what I'm saying is this is the future. It is coming. Even though you might not be getting one for a while, I would listen because it might give you a lot of insight. And if you are one of those people that is like, fuck that, I just want my 1984. I want me and the breeze and the sound of the motor. That's it, bro. Don't need no gauges. All right, guys, we're just making fun because I get it. We get a lot of comments on that. Guys just get mad. They don't want change. Fuck this, fuck that. You throw their hands in the air and screw that. You shouldn't listen to a radio on a bike anyways. I get it, guys. I have 2 of those bikes, okay? But I'm just telling you, I have a Dyna Lowrider S that's great. It doesn't have a radio. It has 1 gauge in the center dash panel. It's loud as shit. It's fast. When I just want to go out and get away for a little day ride or up, 30-mile ride up the twisties, that's great. It's great. Have bikes. Have my KLR for that. It's cool. I'm just telling you, and you all know, those guys that say that, they aren't long-distance tourers. They've never long-distance toured. They are bar-hopping bikes, and that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. I have it. I get to enjoy both worlds. When you're on day 9 of a 10-day, 4,000-mile trip, or even day 5, I will tell you that having a radio and podcast to keep me awake, you literally can get so tired that you can fall asleep on your motorcycle. Having the ability to take a call and call my children back home or my mother or my wife, check in with family in the mornings, it's crucial. And just the entertainment value. And even on long distance trips, honestly, there's a lot of days I never even turn my radio on. I just, that day or the first 4 hours of the morning, I just want peace and silence. So don't knock it. You can always turn it off if you don't like it, But again, we get some of those comments, and it's always funny whenever we talk about any type of boombox or amps or speakers. You get the old crusty school guys that that run to the
motor's my music.
That's right. They run to the burger stand and back home, and we get it. There's a place for that. I'm not against it, but don't knock it for long distance tours because it is a safety thing in my opinion. This IFCU is way more, because it's a whole digital dash and gauges. So that's what we're going to talk about today with that, prefacing that up front. Stick around. You may be surprised. You may be going, it's not as bad as I thought. Or you may go, you know what? That's exactly what I thought. I don't want anything to do with it. There's a lot to talk about here. So let's just get started. But we do want to thank some of these. These are sponsors and why we're coming to you after 11 years. These are some of our newest beloved patron members.
We'd like to thank Ken LaGrandier of Grants Pass, Oregon. He just bought a Rick Rack lately. Recognize that name. Thanks for that. Shane Rogers of Lumberton, Texas, who is top tier, and Joe Marciano of Huxley, Iowa.
LawAbidingBiker.com/Patreon, Patreon. Pledge a certain amount per piece of content that we release. It's really easy because you can put a monthly cap. You can decide how many you want to support us for. And by doing so, you get benefits, t-shirts, stickers, access to the private Facebook group, Troll-Free Zone, nothing but bikers helping other bikers in there and connecting with bikers, podcasts early, months early. Oftentimes you get them in the back end of your Patreon account before the public does. You get access to live video broadcasts and chat, which we're doing right after this, and access to premium videos up on request, those premium tutorial videos, documentaries, and access to those ride, meetup, and events, which is coming up lickety split.
Which is quick. I've learned.
It is. We don't have that in the show notes, but it's all right. We'll get to it on the live. We'll announce we've announced them when they're coming up, dates, all that kind of stuff. There you go, guys. Thank you so much. LawAbidingBiker.com/Patreon. And we are cranking it up here in 24, and we appreciate everybody continuing to sign up. All right. You want to announce a new free video?
I sure will. This new video, it's a fun one. I enjoyed watching it. It's an exclusive preseason interview with Harley factory racers James Rispoli and Kyle Wyman. If you guys haven't started watching this season, you got to get on it. That first race was
my God.
Daytona was a hoot. I mean, these guys are really getting competitive. And
I was tight and breathing hard. I caught myself, dude, when they were at the end there, Kyle, and the factory Indian rider. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but dude, yeah. I haven't found myself like with a sport. I don't get into like profession. I'm not huge, but this is the deal for me. Yeah.
O'Hara?
No,
it wasn't O'Hara.
No, it wasn't O'Hara. It was the new factory rider for Indian.
New guy. Yeah.
He's not new in racing bikes, but
I can't think of his name either right now. But man, that dude, it was his first race on the baggers, and that dude was up there in the top. He's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, he is.
I got to find out.
He made a couple mistakes.
Yeah,
he made some strategic moves. He tried to park Kyle in the last corner, tried to park him, and then because he knows that bike will move. But he screwed it up twice. And Kyle took full advantage of that and was right on his ass anyways.
Was able to slingshot. Slingshot engaged.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, that's also a podcast episode, guys. It's just an audio. Is it out yet?
Which one?
This interview.
Yes, it is. That not the podcast. Is it podcast? Yes. Yes.
So the podcast audio version is out.
Yes. I had to think about that.
So I also did this on video and recorded it. So it's also, if you actually want to see the video, it's out on the YouTube channel. All right. We got a lot to talk about. Let's just dive in here and we'll take care of this and this. All right. Where did my main topic go? There it is. All right. So
Troy Herfoss.
There you go. Herfoss. Yeah. Great racer, guys, for Indian. That's going to be neck. And Rispoli's killing it too. Rispoli was right in the effing mix. He could have taken either of those two at some point. He was getting close where I thought he was going to take him. All right. So diving in here, guys. So recently I released my very thorough and detailed tutorial video on the new Harley Infotainment Control Unit. Again, it's the IFCU. I'm going to be calling it that. It's the digital dash system. It's now standard, we said, 24 models. It's coming on new touring models, what we can see into the foreseeable future. So as I created this very detailed tutorial video, I spent countless hours, guys. I spent it both in the shop and out on the road. I learned everything for you there is to know about the IFCU. And we're going to talk about it, the pros and cons of the system. And I'll tell you, the reason I did all this is because no instructions or information come with it from Harley. Here's a dash that's staring you in the face every time you get on one of these bikes, and nobody really knows how to use it till now. I know guys can go flip through buttons. If you're very technically savvy, but you're going to have to spend a lot of time. There's still a lot of hidden menus. What I teach you is all the tips and tricks. Whether you use them all, that's up to you, but I teach you the fastest way to get around it. And a lot of the hidden stuff, I even got some guys that said, I thought I had it mostly figured out, and we've got some feedback, and there's 5-star reviews on that video. And guys are like, but there was some things I had no clue that you could do that you taught me. So thank you for that video. So even if you think you know it all, you're going to get a lot more out of it by watching my tutorial videos. I guarantee that. And you can get my tutorial video over at lawabidingbiker.com/IFCU or /Harley Digital Dash, whichever is easiest for you to remember. And Lurch will link to it in the show notes. You get immediate access. It'll play right there for you as soon as you purchase. You can watch it as many times as you want for life and revisit it. And it streams just like a YouTube video from any digital device with a good internet connection. And I will tell you that I've updated that video twice already. My commitment to you is once you purchase, I never charge you again. As major developments happen, I will make new videos and I will attach them. You'll get an email and you're notified. And that new video file will be there to watch as many times as you want. Case in point is they just came out where you can... it was dealership controlled the software updates. They just released that customers can do it now. I immediately spent a bunch of hours figuring it all out. PC, Mac, what you can, what you can't do, the tips, tricks. It's a little bit of a cumbersome process. We're going to talk about that. I'm not a fan of it, but with my video, I will get you through it. I guarantee it. You'll follow it step by step and you won't have any issues. I tell you what memory sticks you need, everything, guys. I attach that. I spent another, 5-6 hours creating, editing, getting probably 8 hours, but I got it out ASAP and attached it and it's there for you. So if you purchase new, you're going to get it. Or if you've already purchased, you would have got an updated email. So we appreciate it. Selling the heck out of those. Nothing but, top reviews over there for that video. So in this particular podcast, obviously we're just going to give you my overall thoughts, my insights, opinions about this new digital dash system. Lurch is here. He knows jack shit about it.
Yep.
Because obviously he doesn't have it, and he hasn't even watched the tutorial videos. He doesn't need
I
to
watched
yet.
your
No,
tutorial. I did.
Did you watch both of them? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
As soon as it came out, I watched it. Come on, geez,
nice,
man.
nice.
When you sent me the link saying, "Hey, would you review the article and all that kind of stuff?" I watched the video and also reviewed the article and make sure everything was good. But yeah,
Well, good. You can give me your overall.
That's a reason I told you, "Hey, good job on the video, man."
Yeah, you're sure you did. It'll be good for you though, for me to, let me just ask you now, with not having used it at all in real life, you don't know nothing about it other than my tutorial videos. What were your overall thoughts about it? Was it different than what you thought it was going to be, or how did it look to you? Just a brief, like your first thoughts when you're like, oh, that's actually pretty cool, or
it seemed like a lot to me.
Okay.
Overwhelming.
Okay.
Just the amount of information that's available on that system, how you can set it up in so many different ways. There's a lot more buttons now on your on your controls, and so I'm fairly technically advanced.
You become
I've gotten better.
You've come twofold or tenfold, I should say. Yeah.
But I would say that obviously by the time I buy one next year, I'll have played with yours and learned a lot about it. But if I was buying
The first time you
a
played
brand
with
new
mine.
one and I was having to go to that new system, it would be a little bit overwhelming, I think. But
It is.
After watching the video, it really, we've talked about it in the past, but as an instructor yourself, you kind of know how to put the information across so that the person watching can learn. And you go through every step and show you all the tricks and tips and everything in there. So I would say, to me, my initial impression was it's a lot. But with watching that video, I would feel more comfortable in moving into this newer bike.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you get on it, you're not overwhelmed with that, because a new bike can be overwhelming as it is. And if you have a good understanding of the IFCU, it takes a lot of the fear, I think, out of it. If you get,
absolutely.
So no, well said. I was curious. I hadn't asked you that. So yeah. So there you go, guys. Definitely. I put so much, my Lurch knows, I basically went under for 2 weeks.
Yep.
Like Lurch
I knew what he's doing, and I personally tried not to bother you, but I hardly heard from you for about 2 weeks, and I knew you were in this garage just buckling down and learning every bit of it.
After work, after the paying job, I was in here till late at night and on the weekends. And then, of course, I had to go out and ride a lot, because I don't just want to test in a shop. Like, I need to go out and test. And then I found out some things that are different on the road than sitting in the shop, what works moving, what doesn't work moving, how the GPS works. Anyways, yeah, after 2 weeks, I emerged, and it was finally released. It was a stressful 2 weeks because I wanted to get it out fast, and we have so many other projects going on.
And we've had a lot of requests for it.
Yes, true. If you guys, obviously, if you're new to the podcast, I'll tell you, since 14, we were the boombox experts, guys, and we're going to get into that. So I'm going to make some comparisons to the boombox system. So I need to go over this history, especially if you're new to Harley platform, but this will bring back some points to a lot of you. So you're always going to get my honest opinion here, guys, on this podcast, on the channel. On Harleys when I test ride, and we've done a video on that, or a podcast, but in this case, the IFCU. And we believe it's what differentiates this podcast and our YouTube channel from so many others, is that we don't care. We're going to tell you the truth. Our whole mission is just to help you, to make sense of things, and give you all the facts, and then let you make a decision on, what's going to work best for you. We're independent, and we plan on staying that way. So, to make sense of this new IFCU, I want to put some things in perspective for y'all, in regards to past dash infotainment systems in Harley. It's no secret, guys. Their first attempt, the original 6.5 GT boombox, we saw in 2014 to 2018. That's what I've been running for the last 10 years before I got this new bike. Touring models. That was the 2014 to 2018. In partnership with Harman Kardon, it was mediocre at best. Lurch is still running it.
It's still mediocre.
It's worse than mediocre now, because they've slowed down. And
I can't tell you the last time there's an upgrade for that GT unit. It's been a while. I don't think there will be another one.
Probably. It's kind of done. It's going to work how it is, and you're done with it. So in partnership with this Harman Kardon, like we say, mediocre, it did nothing to gain customer confidence in regards to the infotainment systems and Harley. So third-party developers, like we say, tried to fix that over many years with software updates. Unfortunately, you look back at our channel, a lot of those updates broke more than they fix. It's a very laggy, it's a clunky operating system, has a terrible UI, had a plethora of problems, still has a plethora of problems.
For the nerds out there, tell them what a UI is.
User interface. Yep, good, because I will be referencing that. So
for the non-nerds, I meant to say.
For the non-nerds, yes. I believe realizing this issue with the original unit, Harley did try to self-correct in 2019 when they released the updated version of the boombox, and they called it the 6.5 GTS. Now, a lot of riders we got at that time, they were so unhappy with the original unit that they literally upgraded to a 2019 Harley just to get rid of that old. And I was like, wow, wish I had that kind of money. But we, for a fact, know so many bikers that did that.
Oh, yeah.
And at first, there was no way for riders to upgrade the older boombox guys to the new GTS without buying a new bike. And so many did. And a lot of us were pissed off, including me, because I was like, I can't afford a new bike right now, but I want that new system. It's got to be better. But Harley did listen, because it wasn't too long after that when we did learn it was now possible to upgrade the new GTS unit, which I did in my 14 Street Glide special. And I'll put a link to that detailed video in the description of this podcast in the show notes. The other thing that made riders irritable is that neither unit was built with internal wireless Bluetooth headset pairing capabilities. And you needed to buy an expensive add-on wireless headset interface module called the WIM from Harley and install it. And that would then allow wireless headset pairing, which I also did on my bike. And I'll link to that video in the show notes, Lurch will. And the icing on the cake, guys, was that once you had the WIM installed, to get full functionality and stereo sound, you could only use a Harley branded Senna wireless Bluetooth headset, which was also priced higher than the non-branded headsets. And we went through a plethora of testing back in the day trying to figure all this shit out because Harley didn't tell anybody. And then we found out regular Sennas didn't work and why they didn't work and could you upgrade them. And I'm not going to go any deeper than that. This could get really long. So my opinion, the new GTS was a big step up from the original unit in terms of functionality, UI, and it came with Apple CarPlay originally, and Android Auto followed sometime later with a software update. With that said, the GTS unit still had its fair share of glitches, bugs, frustrations over the years with software updates put out to try to fix them. But I will say, at least the updates in this case didn't break more than they fixed. So if you want to get my longtime best-selling boombox infotainment system tutorial videos, we've been selling them since 14, sold the bejesus out of them, and they're still selling because there's lots of these units out there. They're going to be out there for a lot of years. lawabidingbiker.com/Harley boombox /Harley boombox. Everything's over there. Whether you have the older unit, whether you have the newer unit, I got you covered. It's all over on that landing page. I will tell you this, guys, all you Indian guys listen. I still have a Pursuit in the garage. That's the one I test rode and reviewed. They're just allowing me to keep it for long term.
Forever, I guess.
I guess it's mine now. Isn't there's a certain time where it just becomes mine. It's a joke.
Well, they do say possession is 9/10 of the law, right, and you currently possess it.
There you go. That's what I was thinking. Mm-hmm. But the Harley Boombox wasn't the only frustrating in-dash motorcycle infotainment system. I have tested the Indian Ride Command and extensively on the road in the shop. It has just as many, if not more, issues than the Boombox did. If you watch my review video of the Indian Pursuit, great bike, love a lot of things about it, but it has flaws just like Harleys do. It just had I learned all of its glitches within the Ride Command. It's definitely time for Indian to retire that system. It's seen better days. So having looked at Harley's recent infotainment history, it is no wonder to me, that riders are somewhat concerned about this new IFCU and digital dash system. As I said, consumes your entire inner dash. It is going to be a way that it's a major part of how you are going to interact with your motorcycle. Mm-hmm. You have to interact with it to ride this motorcycle. So, there you go. That's a little history. So now we'll dive in to the main, kind of my use and what I think of it. So it does seem clear to me at this point that Harley has learned from their past mistakes that they have made with this older boombox system, which we discussed. I can personally see that engineers have much tighter control of this new IFCU. Now, I spoke with engineers when I went down to Vegas to test ride the new 24 bikes, and Harley rep, I talked to him in person, asked a lot of questions. One of the questions that they answered was they didn't actually develop the entire operating system called Skyline OS. That's what runs this. It's from a third-party company, but they did seem to have tighter control and input on its development. And I think that was a direct result of not being involved so much with the boombox and just leaving it to a third-party company. So I also see Harley being much more careful with the release of the IFCU into the wild. And the reason I say that is because it's changed now. But at the time I first had the bike, customers couldn't update the software in the IFCU. So when I bought my bike, me and Lurch, one of the things I asked him, I said, update the IFCU, make sure it's up to date. All right. Cause only they could do it, and a technician. So it seemed to me that the reason they were doing that is they wanted to be, especially at its first release into the wild, like, we can't F this up. So let's take full control of it. Let's make sure we're looking at this, and we want technicians to do it. And so now I thought that could be counterproductive, because a lot of guys aren't going to go to the dealership to get it fixed, and then they're going to be running a bad system, and it's going to have bugs, and their perception is going to be that it's a shitty unit. This is a new system. It needs updates. That's normal, just like your smartphone. The computer's no different. But I was glad to see that they relinquished control, which is why I did those video file updates and showed you guys how to do it. We'll talk more about that, but
let me back you up just
sure.
a second. As a listener, I know that we couldn't update or purchase the maps, but you couldn't update it at all.
No,
with software updates, you couldn't. No. Okay,
couldn't. Nope.
Gotcha.
Nope. Unless somehow
I was just making sure that I didn't hear you wrong, because I did know that at the time you bought your bike, there was not an ability to enable navigation on your own.
That either, which is a totally separate thing. Yeah,
I would just wanted to make, for me and for the listening audience, there was no way to update the system by yourself. You had to take it in.
Correct.
Okay.
But and now you couldn't activate embedded navigation, which we'll talk about. Yeah.
Okay.
Good question.
Just making sure those weren't.
Yep. Couldn't do shit to it.
Yeah. All right. Perfect.
Yep. Dealership only.
Geez, sorry about that. Sorry if I blew your eardrums. I smacked the pop filter on the microphone. Sorry. But yeah, I thought maybe I'd heard you wrong, or it wasn't. I thought maybe when you're talking about not being able to update it, you're talking about the maps, because I know we couldn't do
Gotcha.
that. Okay, so thank you. All right. Couldn't do shit to it. Interesting.
Yep. Nope. You could get into the service information portal, the SIP, and the page, which anytime you guys want to get to the software update page for everything Harley, lawabidingbiker.com/software or /Harley software /Harley software. They're always changing where that page is.
Yeah,
that's a redirect. We keep it up to date. That takes you to the SIP. Basically what you could do, Lurch, is I could click on the file, but as soon as I clicked on the Skyline OS file, it would say, you don't have access. Oh, a technician had to sign in to get access. They wouldn't give it to the public. That's changed. So if I could have got the files, I could have updated, but you couldn't get the files. So now I want to talk about my overall experience, thoughts, opinions, and pros and cons of the IFCU digital dash system. And based on my many hours spent mastering this thing, guys, I feel like I have mastered it. So before we get in the weeds too much here, I do want to say that it is a trend for auto manufacturers to develop these operating systems for their digital dash and infotainment systems, even though they are not software development companies per se, which is a little bit irritating. We consumers, we've just kind of become accustomed to these clunky and buggy in-dash auto systems with horrible user interfaces over the years. And again, it's unfortunate, but we're just kind of used to it. So let's face it, after using your iPhone, guys, works so smoothly with a beautiful UI. It's responsive. Then we get in our cars and use these clunky in-dash systems. I'm just telling you, it's not a great experience, Lurch, which includes my Ford F-150, which is top notch, but it has its fair share of bugs and clunky menu systems. And honestly, this is why many of us just bypass these auto in-dash systems and we just use Apple CarPlay. And we're basically using that dash unit as a mirror. It's a second screen, which always is a much better experience. Well, because Apple made it, guys, and it just works. And I wish that auto manufacturers would just contract with somebody like Apple or somebody that knows what they're doing to do these systems, and they'd be so much greater, because trying to become a software company doesn't work. And then you're in, the situation where you're having a third-party company do it, and how much control can you have over that? I know I said Harley did a good job, but it's just, you don't know some of these companies that are third-party software developing companies. They don't have big names. The Skyline OS, they just made up a new operating system, so it's, anyways, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole too much, but I will say, having said all that, guys, I have used many in-dash motorcycle infotainment systems and car ones. I was pleasantly surprised at how responsive the Harley IFCU was to touch and toggle commands without lagging, guys. I could not believe it. And it works fine with gloves too. I will admit I was not expecting any of this responsiveness on an in-dash unit like this. So for an auto manufacturer style user interface, I think developers organized it much better than the boombox system, of course, and it's easier to find your way around. But like I said, there's still many menus to get to, and you have to dig down, and there is a learning curve for sure to use it to its fullest capability. But it is a beautiful UI to look at with completely integrated digital gauges. I really appreciate the aesthetics and how they did it. Great job, Harley, on this. It is beautiful. Every time I get on my bike and look at it, it is amazing. The screen and items on it are very clear. They're large enough to read. There's a high contrast mode for riding in bright sunlight that is definitely sufficient in my experience. So overall, it is absolutely the best and most responsive auto manufacturer digital dash system that I've used to date, but certainly it still has its minor issues, and we'll get to those in a little bit, guys. So, but before we do, Lurch asks, let's dive into embedded navigation. There is a subscription fee of $349 for 3 years with live weather, traffic, and map updates. Now, there will be a less expensive renewal fee in 3 years, but we don't yet have that amount, and Harley can't tell me. They don't have it yet because 3 years hasn't come. But if you didn't renew, just understand your maps will still be on the system, but they will no longer update. And of course, you'll lose that live weather and traffic. So you kind of be stuck in time, so to speak. But you'd still get turn by turn, all that, because you've already purchased that subscription at one point. Now, some complain, I've heard it, about the subscription fee, and I definitely understand, guys. We're subscription to death in the United States, especially. It's just everything's a damn subscription. It's the model. It's just, However, we do need to consider that on the older boombox system, there was no embedded navigation fee. However, to update those maps, you guys remember through Navi Extras, which over at /Harley Boombox, I show you how to do all that, but you could buy them and update your system, but it was like $150 to $200 pop each time. And you never got live weather and traffic. So with that said, think about it. Maybe the subscription fee is a better model. Overall, I don't know. We're just throwing it out there, the information out there to you guys. You decide on that. But and you guys can always comment on these episodes, lawabidingbiker.com/whatever episode number this is. And let us know what you think about the overall IFCU and what you think about the subscription fee and anything you want to throw on over there in the comments. We love reading those comments. So if you're wondering, if you don't get the embedded navigation, every time you click on the menu and click navigation, you're going to be presented with a QR code and a little description. It wants you to buy it each time you try it. You can scan that QR code. It would take you through to the website and you could buy it. Now, with that said, Lurch up front said you couldn't buy embedded navigation. The web page was up on Harley's site, but there was no buy button. That's changed. And of course, I show you exactly what you need to do to purchase it from the page. You need to enter some stuff and then how to get it going. Because basically what it is you're putting in, it's a VIN information. And then basically when you are on Wi-Fi on your infotainment control unit, it's going to recognize some things, but there's some very specific protocols you need to go through to get that to recognize that you've purchased that subscription. I'll get you up and going in no time. That video, there's nothing lacking. It's actually a 2-part video plus the 2 additional video files on there. So you've got so much information. And again, when you need to update or when you need to do something, you can just go back and watch those portions, guys. All right. With that said, anything you want to jump in on at this point, Lurch, or?
I was just on Harley's website trying to figure out where you even go to buy that.
Go to lawabidingbiker.com/embedded navigation.
That'd be so much easier because I'm looking at it going, where the hell do you
It's hard to find. Yeah. Thank you for that. I made a page for you guys. I'll always keep it up to date. It's a redirect, lawabidingbiker.com/embedded navigation. No spaces, no dashes, just embedded navigation. And it will get you there just like that.
Hey, bikeaholics, searching for new and exciting motorcycle products? 03D has the products you dream about for your bike. Check out their wide variety of innovative products for the Harley Davidson and Honda Goldwing motorcycles. 03D's got your back with chrome, black parts, lighting, and other comfort products. No modifying, cutting, grinding, or welding for an easy installation. That equals less time installing and more time riding. 03D has a design team of writers with over 40 years experience with a passion for design and innovation. Zero and Gold Strike are the motorcycle LED lighting innovators for CAN bus plug-and-play system compatibility. They pride themselves on great customer service. Got a question? Get in touch with them via email at sales@03d.com or give them a call at 715-808-0027. Check out your local Harley or Honda dealership and ask for Zero or Gold Strike parts. A new leader has emerged, so check out 03D's custom line of Gold Strike products for the all-new Honda Goldwings. Better yet, help support us and head on over to Law Abiding Biker store and check out our full line of 03D products.
Yeah, buddy. All right. So, cons. Before I get into some of the current glitches and issues I found with the IFCU, I want to remind everybody out there that this is a computer. It was just released. So like all computers, electronic devices such as your smartphones, computers, TVs, everything, the unit will require software updates to work things out. Very common. Don't get mad about that. Welcome to the real world right now. All right. Again, overall, the best, most responsive auto manufacturer digital dash system I've used to date, and I've really enjoyed my time with it. So I only say this once. Many of the things I'm about to talk about will likely be updated and fixed with future updates, maybe even at the time of this release. So take them with a grain of salt. One of the things I found, you can't view live weather in the embedded navigation while moving as it's grayed out, which makes no sense to me because everything else in the damn system you can use while moving down the road. So whatever, hopefully that will get fixed because it would be nice to be able to do that while I'm riding on a long distance trip, hour 7 in, and you're like, what's the weather kind of in this location? You're seeing some clouds, but you can't, you got to stop. So not that you can't get that on your smartphone, up in your biker gripper on your handlebars. You could, that's what I would do in that instant. But yeah, interesting. So, let's see, let me move on down. I just want to make sure all right. So also customers can't currently, we talked about navigation. You can now purchase it. That was one of my cons that's been overridden now. Okay. Yeah. And dealership. Yep. You don't have to go to dealership now. Sorry guys. I'm just going through some of my notes here that were made previous to this episode. Now I will say, my biggest gripe with the software updates, I'm just going to tell you guys, if you don't have my video, I tested a bunch of stuff and Mac, PC, you have to have 2 memory sticks. They have to be certain speeds, certain kinds. You got to get different files on one and then a root folder in one and then not the root folder. If it sounds complicated, once you see my video, it will be a breeze. But without it, I'm just telling you, good luck. Even dealerships are having troubles because I know what they're doing, but I can't fix every dealership, but because I worked through this, I know the glitch and what they're doing. Trust me, you get my video. I know dealerships are already getting, one dealership mechanic told me I already got it. And they're updating them all the time. No problem. So get the video. That's all I can say. But with that said, there's different files. It's a set it along about 45 minutes. If everything goes perfect, maybe an hour to get them downloaded. One of the files is like 15 gigs and it takes even on high speed internet, took 10 minutes to get the file downloaded. With that said, that's my biggest gripe. With my video, you'll be able to do it, but it just shouldn't be that tough. This thing is hooked to Wi-Fi to get live weather traffic, for maps, things like that. And you can hook it to Wi-Fi too, even if you don't have the embedded navigation. You can still hook the system to Wi-Fi. So in my opinion, I pull in my shop, I have Wi-Fi or my home garage. Why did you not make it so that this system can update like our smartphones automatically over Wi-Fi? Why are we doing this archaic thumb drive, memory stick bull crap, unzipping files and putting it's a horrible. It's my biggest gripe about this system.
That should be the backup. If
Correct.
If something's going wrong, you got slow Wi-Fi or whatever, you should be able to have an ability to manually update it. Mm-hmm. But I agree with you. I mean, for heck's sakes, the Senna and the Cardo headsets, automatically download over Wi-Fi. How come we can't get the bike?
My Ford F-150 does it. The other day I pulled in my driveway. It's connected. It goes, I'm going to do a software update. Thank you.
Yeah,
do
absolutely.
Do it to it.
Yeah.
But our smartphones do it. Our computers do it. It is absolutely my biggest frustration and gripe
if it did that.
with this unit. Can they fix that with software updates in the future to make it do that?
I would assume so.
I would think so. My Ford F-150 system does it. Let's hope so, guys. Until then, there's one way to do it. You absolutely will want to keep this thing up to date. Do not hesitate, because it's going to get smoother and smoother. I have no feeling, or I have a feeling about that. Anything I'm talking about, these glitches are so minor on this thing. It is an amazing system, but that's horrid. And it absolutely should be updating via Wi-Fi, just like every other electronic device. But nonetheless, there you go. I'll stop ranting about that. So the other thing about this lurch is, in my opinion, just like Harley or iPhone, Apple, and my Ford F-150, they get full control of when those updates get pushed, right? As long as you're connected to Wi-Fi, they're going to decide when it goes out, and they're going to know more customers are getting it. Because some customers, if they don't listen to this podcast or don't see me on YouTube, don't know that there's a tutorial video to show you how to do this the right way, they're just not going to take it to the dealership to get it done. They don't want to pay them, number one. Number two, they won't know. You don't get an alert. You don't get an email that they're not, but you literally have to check back in SIP all the time. It's a horrid way to do it. This way, they would know people's systems are getting up to date. They're going to get a bad perception. Somebody's going to sell somebody an EUS 24 and it's never been updated. They're going to, this fucking bike and this system, they don't know. It's because you're 5 versions old, bro. Anyways, I'm done. I'm done with that because I can go off on it. I wish they would. You're laughing at me. Why?
Oh, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not going to rant anymore.
And then I'm
going to rant some more.
Then I'm going to rant some more. All right. You're right. Good call. Anyways, that would give them control. Let's see.
It's almost like, I don't know if you've seen Dave Portnoy, Barstool Sports guy, where he does his pizza reviews. He goes, 1 bite, everybody knows the rules. And he takes like 5 or 6 bites. That's kind of like you right there.
Nice, bro. Nice.
I'm not going to rant. Yes, I am.
Not going to rant. I will. All right. So the next thing, guys, you're going to have to get my video. I'm not going to go into it on this. There's PC and Mac thing, and it's starting to work. And you got it. I tell you it all in my tutorial video, guys. So go get that. We're not going to get into that on the PC Mac thing and what works and what doesn't work with Mac and what works with just go over there. All right. So next, I want to put the Android Auto argument to rest. All Android users, I'm sorry, you have to accept this. You chose an Android. I'm teased. It's okay. All right. Just relax. Okay. Breathe, I see some guys throwing, Ryan, breathe, God damn it.
Just breathe.
All right. Yeah, just breathing, relaxing. The fact that Google discontinued development and support for Android Auto for 2-wheel vehicles. You have to accept it. It is what it is. Yes, that means motorcycles. Yes, Android Auto will still work on older head units that had it originally installed, but it can't be installed on U-units, which is why it's not available on the IFCU. A lot of guys are commenting on the videos. They just get mad. It's like, don't get mad. It's the platform you chose. Get mad at Google. So here's the deal. Some guys are saying, oh, well, Android Auto comes on the new head unit on, or this on the Goldwing and blah, blah, blah. It's like, you have to understand when those head units were manufactured. Those could have been manufactured well before they went on those bikes. Thus, it was still available. A Harley on this is a brand new unit. They weren't able, there's no reason for Harley to lie about that. It does nothing because it's right. And the guys they can't put any links. Android guys will still argue in the comments. They're mad. I get it. I would be mad if Apple CarPlay. I get it, but take your anger and frustration. We've actually had some guys. We've had comments. Longtime Android user go, "Yep, I'm switching to an iPhone." You're sorry. Apple CarPlay is on like a lot more stuff, guys. You do you. I don't want this to be an Android iPhone debate. That's not what it's about. You chose your platform. It's not on there. It's not going to be on there. And so Apple CarPlay is an amazing experience, an amazing way to use the unit. You do you. You do you. I don't care what device you have. I know what I need, what works best for my business and everything. But it is a beautiful experience, Apple CarPlay on this unit. So with that said, go hit up Google support and see if you can get Android for Auto for 2-wheel vehicles revived. I haven't seen one link, the guys that argue, not one link. They can't provide any evidence. They just want to argue. So if you have information, we're open to it, but please send us send me a letter from somebody in Google that says that they support it, and we'll put it in a new unit for two-wheel vehicles. That's what I want to see. I want to see evidence of that. But to date, nobody with an Android can provide that to me. So also, a lot of you will be frustrated, a few of you, I should say, that the IFCU does not internally support satellite radio. There's no add-on module for it. I spoke directly to Harley engineers about this. I asked them the question. I remember I was on the side of the road. We were getting video, test riding new bikes. They stated they didn't find it necessary, as everyone has a smartphone now that achieves more than satellite radio can. But I know that some of you out there, some specific shows you listen to on something like SiriusXM radio, I understand it. This is the decision that was made. All right.
And you can still listen to it through your phone. The downside is
that's the downside.
Yeah, if you don't have reception, you're screwed.
Yep.
But
there is a SiriusXM app. It works on Apple CarPlay, so you can listen to it, or you can listen to it and pipe it through on your Android to the system. But yeah, if you lose cell service, you're not going to get it. You can't download. That's why I listen to podcasts and music, because I can download it on my phone and I can listen to it without cell service. Same with maps. But if you have to have SiriusXM, sorry, it's not there. It is my opinion. Satellite radio definitely been dying over the years, guys, because of smartphones. We don't need satellite radio to listen to offline media, like I said. We can download music, podcasts. We can download maps in the background. We don't need cell service. Same reason, embedded navigation, obviously. Same why that's dying within these dash systems, because people I just download my Rever or my Google Maps in the background, and it doesn't matter where I go in the mountains, don't need any cell service, and I get maps and turn by turn just fine. So it's just dying. It's a subscription. There's not a huge need for it. Again, if you want it, you can listen to it as long as you have cell service on the SiriusXM app. So there you go. I know there's some diehard Sirius guys, listeners. I can say, honestly, I'm sorry. I know you want it. Not there. Not going to be an option. One of the software glitches I'm experiencing this time, Lurch, is even though the smartphone has been paired, this just happened last night before we went to our dinner meeting. I went on my bike. The smartphone won't automatically pair. We had this with the old boombox, and you have to go in and force connect it. You have to go into device settings, find your iPhone, hit it, select it, force connect it. That needs to be taken care of. I'm hoping with software updates. Also, you can't currently delete a contact from your favorites within the system. And when clicking on a contact, so I find my contact, I find Matt Lurch in the system. I click on it, your address. This is the internal contacts, not on your phone. It sucks them all in there. It doesn't automatically take me to GPS. There's a little thing, it's little arrow. It should, right? I click on your address, should take me there. Doesn't. It's a glitch. Also, if using Apple CarPlay and relying on the internal system, text messaging from the smartphone are not loading. Not Apple CarPlay. That's fine. That's just that's working great. But the internal system, if you have Android or you're not using CarPlay, you're supposed to be able to respond to text messages, and it's also supposed to read them back to you. That isn't working. No Apple CarPlay internal voice commands. So if you're using the internal embedded navigation and you're like, take me to Matt Couchman's house or take me to this address, it is not. It takes like 15 seconds. There's a little orange bar that pulsates back and forth at the bottom. It's just horribly slow. It's what all internal systems are when you're doing internal satellite navigation. Even car ones, it's just horrible. You tell it, take your address, you wait 15 seconds and it finally comes up on the screen. So that's the only slow thing in the system is voice commands, in my opinion. Also, some of the menu items won't select or activate using the left toggle. Most everything will. You actually, that's just a glitch. You have to go into the touchscreen on some of them and just hit the touchscreen instead. Within a few specific menus, when you hit the back button, there's a back button. It's supposed to take you back one level.
Not all the way out.
Right. Instead of that, it just suddenly takes you all the way back to the root menu system, and then you got to click back in and dive down again. So that's frustrating. Currently, you can upload a saved GPX navigation file from Harley Ride Planner into the IFCU, but then it errors and says it can't open the ride, so you can't even go on it. I did download a GPX file on both PC and Mac and got the same result, so it wasn't that issue. But I do want you to understand you're not out to dry anyways. There are still two other very easy ways to get your ride planner rides into the IFCU. They're brilliant. They're the easiest way, and I will show you how to do that in detail in my IFCU tutorial video, lawabidingbiker.com/IFCU or /Harley Digital Dash. All right. Also, once you import multiple day ride plan, You know this, Lurch. It splits it up as expected by your days. You know, we're going this day, we're going from here to here. But when you want to delete it after a trip, like a 10-day trip, just like the boombox, you got to go into each damn day, select it, scroll down, hit the delete, push in, delete it, and you go through each day. It's cumbersome. We saw it on the boombox. There should absolutely be a way they need to program to select an entire trip. I'm done. I just want that whole trip deleted. Is that coming? I don't know.
God, I hope so.
It's just so stupid.
It's time
It's a
consuming.
beautiful system, and then they do that. What the hell? All right.
That must be something in Ride Planner, I'm guessing.
No.
If it's an issue. Well, it was an issue on the GTs, GTSs. Now it's an issue on
I
Skyline,
know, but
too.
all they have to do is code it so that you have a checkbox by it. They just need to
Check
make
them
an
all.
option to select
more than one or select all.
all. They can do it. It's just a coding
Harley,
issue.
let's do it.
Yeah, exactly. Or whoever makes Skyline OS, yes. And this is not a pro or con, but just to be aware, the IFCU was specifically designed to work within the Cardo wireless Bluetooth headset ecosystem, not Sena, guys. A lot of guys are not researching. They're not watching my channel. They're not listening. And they call and they're emailing us and they're like, if you had just subscribe to the channel, listen to the podcast, we're going to take care of you, okay? Sena's not it. That's for the older boombox system. All right? They're not reverse compatible. Will you get a Sena to pair? Yes. And then it's going to work like shit. Don't do it. Don't try it. We've already got massive amount of reports on it. I'm stopping answering emails. They just need to come to the podcast on the website. The Sena is for the older boombox. The Cardo is for the new IFC. You just know that. One of our club members got a hold of me from East Coast and was asking all about it because he got the new 24. And I told him and educated him on all this. And I go, yeah, you're sorry. I said, pack up all your Sena shit, sell it on eBay because you're moving forward to Cardo if you want to use this system. And because he did a Sena, he goes, yeah, I can't get this to work. I go, yeah, you got it to pair. It ain't going to work, bro. And I told him about this is a Cardo ecosystem. That's how it designed. He goes, oh, I go, yep. I just bagged up all my Sena stuff and I'm moving on to Cardo because that's just the way it is. So like the older, okay, if you do get other brand headsets, like I say, to pair, you may, but they just are going to have issues. You're going to be frustrated. I'm sorry. Head over to Cardo and get a Cardo, of course. Now,
or you can buy it in our store.
Yeah, exactly. For sure. I'm going to get to that. So Harley has a branded Cardo Pack Talk Edge. It's Harley stamped, but it's not necessary to buy it, guys. Buy the branded unit. I've been using the non-branded Cardo Pack Talk Edge from the Law Abiding Biker store with the system. Works great. So no issues there. We'll be doing updated information on that. But we do sell the Cardo Pack Talk Edges right in the Law Abiding Biker store. You know, we're a bootstrap company trying to help bikers. Please, we appreciate every customer. We've got them in stock, ready to ship to you. We've got other models of Cardo. Cardo Pack Talk Edge is definitely probably one of the best. And
it's got all the bells and whistles.
It's got all the bells and whistles. It's the one Harley branded and recommends for the system. That would be, but we sell the other ones too. They're great too. We haven't tested those. They should work fine, but we just need to test it. And that will be coming, just some of the other models. We've got all the models in the store. We appreciate it. Lurch will link to them in the show notes, or just head over to the store and search Cardo and you'll find all our Cardos. So, if you appreciate, let's see. Yeah, we got those. Okay. So in closing, guys, we're going to take it out here and then any final thoughts. And we will go from there.
Want to ride longer and treat your ass with some respect already? Oh, Lord. I can't look at you. Get hooked up with a premium butt buffer seat cushion. This company of bikers developed a super thin hospital-grade seat cushion made of solid and elastic materials. And it's unlike gel pads that will leak if punctured.
Oh, my ass is leaking.
The butt buffer is designed not to slide around your seat. Fits all motorcycles, installs in seconds, easily cleans, and helps dampen those dang vibrations. God, you dork. With plenty of miles to choose from, they assure you'll have a comfortable ass in riding. Head on over to the Law Abiding Biker store and check out our full line of butt buffer seat cushions.
I'm getting more aggressive and more aggressive to get you to laugh. That's ridiculous, dude. All right, let's finish this, guys. I know this is a lot of information. We got another live one to do, so we're moving right along here. Let's see, right over here. So closing. All right. So the biggest question many have, I know you guys, and that is, I can't answer it right now, all right, at this point. And that is, how will the IFC operate in 5 or even 10 years? Because after all, I had my last Harley Street Glide Special for 10 years before upgrading to this 2024. And How will the longer-term support for the IFCU be from Harley? Will the IFCU slow down and start lagging over time? And if so, how will that be handled by support? How long will third-party companies that develop Skyline OS operating systems, support it? Well, only time's going to tell, guys. And as a commitment, like I told you guys, if you get my tutorial videos and purchase it, any of my IFCU, my ride planner, my boombox tutorial videos, that as major things change or develop, I will always keep you informed via new video files, and you'll be emailed each time that happens, so you stay informed. You can watch them over and over as you need to go back to something, or you forget something, or it's been 4 months since you updated software. Like, I don't remember how to do it. Grab your laptop, your iPad, your iPhone, Android, set it on the workbench, and do it step by step with me, and download the files. I'll walk you through it. It's always there for you as a crutch. Cause like Lurch said, there is a lot to it. And most people just aren't going to understand all of its capabilities. It's awesome. It's got the gauges in there, guys. There's multiple different ways. There's tricks. Honestly, I know a lot of guys don't know what I show you. Cause I learned it just by testing, and sometimes I'd come up with stuff and go, oh, that is so cool. I didn't know you could do this. And you can set up your dash different. You can put your different gauge layouts. You can have different information displaying, different ride modes. I go through custom ride modes. There's a plethora in there of information, the embedded navigation, Apple CarPlay, the settings in Apple CarPlay, everything, guys. There's nothing missed in there. Lurch, do you have anything as we wrap it up here?
Well, you just bring up an interesting point that I hadn't thought about, is how long is that thing going to last? Right. I got a laptop in front of me, and this thing may last, up to 10 years, but
it's a Mac.
It's a Mac. So
PC, a couple years.
Yeah.
Right. And so we don't know
how
right.
That is a concern, because that controls that whole damn bike.
Right.
Yeah. So it will be interesting to see how they hold up. Yeah.
It's my biggest worry.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, now it is mine too, because I wasn't really thinking about it until you mentioned it.
Yep.
You go buy this 24, and then how many years do you have to potentially replace that unit?
Yep. And will they come up with, in 5 years, like they did with the boombox? Are they going to come up with an upgraded unit? You know what I mean? Like, it looks the same, same form factor, but it's an updated version. We don't know.
It'll be interesting.
It's going to be interesting for sure.
A big move.
It is
a fully digital dash, no doubt.
It is. Auto manufacturers are doing it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's new to the motorcycle.
Correct.
World, but.
So yeah. And we'll see. Yeah. I don't know, guys. It is what it is. And if you want a Harley, that's what you're going with. And I guarantee Indian is chomping at the bit in development, because they got to try to keep up with Harley and vice versa. And they're going to be coming out with it too. So touring bikes, it's the future, guys. Goldwing, you heard it. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're doing fully digital dash or not.
I don't know if they do.
We don't have time to look it up. We got to take this out. But hey, we appreciate our patron members. We want to get you benefits. We want to get to know you better. But if the only way you want to support us is through a flat donation, well, Lurch wants to thank you for the following flat donations.
We'd like to thank Mark Plank of Oakland, Maryland, Jim McJenkins of Northport, Alabama, Scott Fuller of Kona, Hawaii, Brad Johnson, not Johnston, it's Brad Johnson of Sacramento, California, John David Wheeler of Huntsville, Alabama, and Scott Jackson of Appleton, Wisconsin.
Lawabidingbiker.com/donate helps put a little fuel in the Law Abiding Biker gas tank
to keep this thing running on down the road.
All right, guys, we appreciate all those donations. Also, Lurch, on that, those donations, a lot of them are people literally buying stuff in the Law Abiding Biker store, and then they're also leaving us a tip. Amazing. I'm humbled. God bless you all as we take it into 2024. Lurch has got something for you as we take it out here. What do you want to do, Lurch?
Don't get stranded, Bikeaholics. Get hooked up with our Cruise Tools RTH3 roll-up travel toolkit and Harley-Davidson and American V-twin motorcycles. Don't get stranded and have your bike towed over a small repair. This quality toolkit has everything you need for a roadside emergency. Tested and used by a law-abiding biker crew. Get it already. That's Cruise Tools RTH3. We've tested it. We've used it. We've got it in the store. Get hooked up.
Yeah, we sell the heck out of those things.
Lurch, the bejesus.
You want to remember the new podcast hotline phone number and store phone number?
Yeah, that's right. I've added it in there.
Good. I'm having you do it.
Okay, I think it's 509-273-1290.
Woo! You're the man,
there we go.
Dude. You're the man. I just clipped that hard, didn't I? The limiter came on, though. I heard it in my headphones. Yep, 509-273-1290, guys. And within the Law Abiding Biker app, if you haven't got that app, it's free. head over to lawabidingbiker.com/app. You can get it for iOS, for Android. And right in there, it's a really easy way to consume the podcast and stay up to date. And in there you can really easily push a button and call us and leave a voicemail. That's currently going to our old phone number, which we still have access to, but it will be going to the new one. You won't even have to think about it. It will call the right number. But remember, that feature's in there. You got show notes in there and all that kind of stuff. Of course, if you don't want to use our free app, you can still use any of your apps from your major podcast platforms, such as Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify now, iTunes Radio, all that stuff, guys. We're pretty much everywhere. And again, if you want to find those, you can still head over to the same page, lawabidingbiker.com/app. There's just a bunch of big buttons with different platforms that you can listen on. And we appreciate it, guys. Podcast going strong here. And from, a phone or the computer, you can always just go over to lawabidingbiker.com/contact. There's a form over there. You can drop us an email, written form. Also, you can leave a voicemail right over there from your computer microphone for free, or even if you access that on your phone, same thing. It's just through a service called SpeakPipe, and we'll get that voicemail. And we love getting all those, guys. Don't forget to follow us over on social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram at Law-Abiding Biker, Twitter at Law-Abiding Biker, or X if you want to call it. Now it is former Twitter, but doing a lot over on Instagram, guys. A lot over there. So make sure you follow us over there. A lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, a lot of short videos, a lot of cool pics, things going on over there. YouTube /Ryan Urlacher, and Facebook, all you Facebook guys. The public Facebook page is over at facebook.com/lawabidingbiker. But and we got the private one too, but that is reserved for our mid-level and above patron members. It is a troll-free Facebook group, monitored. Tons of people in there. It's a forum. It's better than any forum out there. I can't stand the motorcycle forums. Just not great for me. In there, you're going to get solid information. You've got expert bikers in there that are going to, there's no dumb question. You're not going to get made fun of. You can ask the most basic question if you're a brand new rider to the most experienced rider, because people are there because they want to be. And that's what you get when you have a paid membership. You're going to get good folks in there. So, yeah. Thanks for listening, guys. We're out of here.